So we're around a month out now from the launch of the Nintendo Switch, 3rd of March 2017. We've got a few confirmed games already. We're just going to run through them. We've played quite a few of them so far. We're going to tell you what you should be looking at getting if you're getting a Nintendo Switch for launch. First up, you're seeing it on screen now, courtesy of IGN. This is 1-2 Switch. 2 words. Wii Sports.
Yeah, or Wii Party.
Wii Party? Is there a Wii Party?
I thought there was.
Well, there is now.
Well,
it's called 1-2 Switch. Yeah, so this is basically a series of party games. I mean, obviously the little Joy-Con controllers are very similar in terms of function to the Wiimotes. That surprised me, actually, because we played a game called ARMS, which isn't a launch title, but it was really reminiscent of Wii Boxing in the functionality of the controllers
They're more
themselves.
sophisticated and good-looking Wii controllers, aren't they?
Yeah.
For circle pads, which your Wii controllers should have had.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they're a good little size. But thinking about the game itself, really, I can't help but feel that this should have been a pack-in with the Nintendo Switch itself, considering that the console is going to be priced a little bit higher than most people are expecting. I would have liked to have seen, say, this as a pack-in.
Yeah, it's a goodwill gesture.
Absolutely. Anyway, moving on, because I'm kind of sick of looking at these two. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. There's our logo, because this is actually our footage. So this is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, of course. This is Link in his underpants. First of all, I think it's worth saying, I would just like to congratulate Nintendo for bringing back the RPG staple. Lots of early RPGs, and lots of early MMOs as well, actually, featured the main character running around in that underpants until you actually found some clothes to equip. And Nintendo just brought that back. They've just discovered the roots of the
I saw your face lit up when you saw him getting out of that bathroom just his underpants.
But not necessarily for the reason you think. But onto the game itself. I've made the point before. It strikes me that this could be The Legend of Zelda's Metal Gear Solid 5 moment. They've added a sort of open world where when we actually started playing the open world part, I was running around doing my own thing, and it was nudging me in the right direction, saying, hey, do you know what, if you go that way you will trigger the next part of the game, which is good, so it doesn't just leave you
wandering around aimlessly.
Did it feel like a Zelda game?
I think it did feel like a Zelda game.
That's what worried me the most, actually, that it wouldn't.
It looked and sounded like a Zelda game as well. I mean, it'll be interesting how the dungeons and other bits play out in the long term. But
well, there's something I was disappointed about, actually, if I find a bit of the video where he opens the chest, actually, that it didn't do the, they're going to do it now, here we go, the
it was a lot less, yeah.
Although I suspect Nintendo will watch this video and hear me doing that and say, yeah, let's not only do that, but let's hire that guy to record the sound effect. Of course, we don't know what the full game's going to be like, but what we've played of it is actually pretty compelling. I'm really looking forward to spending a serious amount of time in this game mode.
I really enjoyed it, and believe when the 20 minutes ended, I was a bit disappointed. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I find it difficult to believe that there are going to be many people who have pre-ordered the Switch who aren't basically going to pre-order this. Let's move on to the next game. This is actually the first game that isn't by Nintendo. It's also our own footage, as you can see. Again, shocker. This is Skylanders Imaginators, which is, of course, Activision's little cash cow. The Imaginators is actually out for several of the other consoles, the PS4, I believe, and the Xbone. October 2016, that was released. It got an open critic average of 72% and a user rating of 52%.
Not surprising.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it depends on the audience. This is basically the poster boy for NFC, which is, if you've got an Amiibo, you can hold it against a base of, against one of the Joy-Cons, or if you've got a 3DS, one of those. Well, Skylanders, of course, pioneered the whole toys to games rip-off phenomenon.
I'm not a big fan of it.
No, this is the thing. I think it's for a younger audience. It does play like a poor man's Ratchet and Clank, even.
A very poor man's. I mean, the combat was clunky, the movement was clunky.
Yeah, I mean, it was playable. I mean, we shouldn't intimate that it's an unplayable game. It was playable. It just, if you're a hardcore gamer, it isn't really up to the standard that you would expect it to be.
I couldn't wait to palm off a controller to you, to be honest. I was like, honestly, you play it now. You play it now.
And indeed, that opportunity came quite quickly because it actually crashed, didn't it?
It did crash, didn't it?
There we go. And we've got that moment on screen for you right now. Oh, it's crashed. You can see, even though you can only see the woman's hand, you can still see the confusion in her hand. She's wondering what's going on. I should point out, if you are a Skylanders fan, I'm sorry we're not, but we're not. But if you are a Skylanders fan, this is apparently the best one to date. So if you're watching the video just for our thoughts on Skylanders, then be enthused. Next up is Ubisoft's contribution.
What a contribution?
What's a contribution? Yes, Just Dance 2017. Thank you to Arthur Video Song for this. We were going to get some footage of this, but we didn't have time in the end. Which is really sad because you are now, and I'm really disappointed that we didn't set up the camera for this because you're busting out.
I'm absolutely rocking it, aren't I?
You absolutely are.
I'm proper getting into a groove in this.
You've got form with this game. What's Just Dance actually like? I played dance games. I haven't actually played Just Dance though.
Well, I only played it on the Xbox Kinect, and I think it probably suits the best suited thing for the Kinect, possibly. I don't know if it would suit something without a camera, like for Wii controllers as well.
You'll have the Joy-Cons in your hands, won't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was suited to the Kinect. Obviously, it's again maybe a game you take round to your friend's hen do or something.
Your friend's hen do?
Well, you know.
You go to another hen do?
No, you're not taking it to a bachelor do, are you? So, if, like, for women out there watching, you're taking it to a hen do. You wouldn't take it to a bachelor do, would you?
You heard it here first, guys. Disguise yourself as a lady and turn up at a hen do with a copy of Just Dance 2017 and a Nintendo Switch in its portable mode. I should also point out this was also released for the PS4 and Xbox October 2016, just like Skylanders Imaginators. I got an Open Critic ranking of 73% and a user rating of 78%. So, I mean, as dancing games go, it seems people do like it.
But it is just a dancing
But
game.
it is just a dancing game.
Why couldn't Ubisoft have put something actually semi-interesting?
Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have run it.
Well,
That's what, because none of Ubisoft's other games will actually run on it.
What about Assassin's Creed 2?
Yeah, that probably would actually. Yeah, I could put the Ezio collection. Okay, this is Super Bomberman R from Konami, and this is our own footage, in fact. Now, the Super Bomberman games, I personally have been playing these for decades. I played the hell out of Bomberman back on the Amiga, actually. There's even a little adapter that you could plug into the back, because they only have 2 joystick ports on them. And there's a little adapter that meant you could plug 4 joysticks into the Amiga. I used to play it with my brother and the old man. That's my father, in case you're wondering.
Just a random old man.
Yeah, not just a random. Yeah, we just wait for one to walk past. Oh, back come here. Make up the numbers on Bomberman.
Hey, child, you want to play Bomberman? Come to my house.
If you've never played a Bomberman game, which is quite possible, because I mean you're a pretty hardcore gamer and you'd never played it.
No, I played it. Yeah, on the Xbox 360.
Oh, of course, yeah, the Xbox Live Arcade version. Yeah, I mean some of the versions have been better than others. As far as the multiplayer, local multiplayer version of co-op, this was a good version. The only thing I'll say about this, we played this actually on the screen, and this is actually recorded on the screen. The screen is beautiful, it's really colourful, it's vibrant. It was quite difficult to see the icons.
Yeah, that's what I found. It was just a bit, you had to lean forward a few times too often.
Yeah, and Matthew's the younger of us.
Yes,
if he had trouble then. But it played beautifully. It played just like I would want a Bomberman to play. The thing that is up in the air is what's the single player mode going to be like,
and for price as well. It's a reasonably hefty price, isn't it?
I think it is
for
quite.
Bomberman.
This is the thing. I mean that single player mode has got to be fantastic to justify that price. Moving swiftly on, this is The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Thank you to Admiral Baru for the footage there. This is a game by Edmund Macmillan and Co., who was previously known for Super Meat Boy. Which is a platform game that some people really, really love. This is a top-down.
Some people not being you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that game, to be honest. I just find the controls slightly laggy. But in this is a 2D top-down roguelike where you play a naked baby. Yes, really. Basically, because it's a roguelike, there's a procedurally generated and otherwise randomly generated.
Oh, your favourite.
Yeah, love that, yeah. I know. I'm going to sound like one of these games people that doesn't like any games, but yeah, I'm not a fan of roguelikes. But again, a lot of people absolutely love this game. This game has been criticised on the other formats it's been released for being too highly priced. Do remember, the original game was actually released in 2011. Has an Open Critic average of 73%. Also, I'm not the only one that wasn't that impressed by it. And 82% in terms of user ratings. Yeah, again, I think it's a digital download, so it just needs to be competitively priced, really. I am Setsuna, thank you to GameSpot for the footage here. So this is Square Enix's
contribution.
Yeah, exactly, to the JRPG genre. Square Enix are no strangers to that genre, of course. This is a sort of like really hardcore JRPG. People quite like it, actually. It is out on other formats. It's on the current gen formats at the moment and the
nice.
PC. But yeah, very graphically nice.
I think it would suit the Switch's visuals, I would say.
It will look great. If you're in the back of the car and you've got the screen in portable mode, I mean, this is going to be a perfectly good time killer, isn't it? As long as you got it hooked into the cigarette lighter, because unless you want to play it for half an hour.
I wonder actually if a cigarette lighter would give a Switch enough power, or if it would use more than it gets.
There's the question. July 2016, this was originally released. It got 75% on Open Critic in terms of critic average, 71% in terms of user averages. So yeah, it's a serviceable JRPG, and you probably know just from that whether you want it or not. Let's talk about World of Goo. Thank you to Double for the footage. This is by 2D Boy, really good developer, really good indie developers actually. Really old game actually, October 2008 this was originally released. Too old for Open Critic, so it's got a Metacritic average of 90%, 85% in terms of user ratings. It's a 2D bridge building physics game. I actually have this on Steam actually.
Really?
So, yeah, I do. Yeah, is
it your favourite? Is it? You can't get enough of it.
Well, let's not go that far. But it is actually a very good game. It's a really good fun. You basically have so many of those little globules, and you have to build a bridge. You have to basically connect, as you can see, on this particular level, you've got to connect those two land masses using a limited number of those globules. And there you go. You see, it's saying 2.9. And later, there you go. So he's got into the pipe now. It's a really good fun game. It's really striking art style, as you can see. really soothing sound. Actually, it's really sort of like a windswept, really nice, relaxing soundtrack.
Since its PC release, it's been on iOS devices.
That's right, yeah. And that actually, the fact it's been on iOS does prove that it works on the touchscreen as well. So again, this will be one that shows off the Switch's touchscreen. So Little Inferno. This is by the same developers, actually. Thank you to Ghost Games for the footage. Published by Tomorrow Corporation. November 2012 this was originally released. Again, too old for OpenCritic, a 68% on Metacritic.
There's quite a few old games in this launch lineup, isn't there?
There are, yeah. I don't know why it's running like crap, actually. There we go, it's a bit better. So basically, in this, it's an indie game where you burn combinations of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I know it doesn't sound very thrilling, and well, it kind of isn't. I've got this on Steam as well, actually, and it's pretty limited. Actually, it's sort of a nice idea, and you can play it for 20 minutes, and then you think, okay, I'm pretty
5 minutes.
Well, yeah, you think I'm pretty much done with this. And also by the same.
Now this one you're actually quite excited for.
Yeah. No, this is the thing. I hadn't. Oh, there's a guy up in the corner there. Okay. That is going to be Sips Live, because that's where we got the footage from. So basically, October 2015, this was originally released. There we go, he's gone. Oh no, he's back. Okay, that's why I didn't spot him when I was compiling this. 70% on Metacritic, 80 or OpenCritic, even 80% in terms of user ratings. This is a 2D top-down viewed puzzle game, which sort of teaches you assembly language. Now, when I actually read about this game, it turned me from not at all interested to
extremely interested.
Actually, that sounds quite interesting.
I just started hearing when you were reading it, not sure what was going on.
Started applauding. Yeah. Gave it a round of applause. So yeah, I'm actually going to download the PC version of this, which actually takes us back to an interesting question as to whether you would actually get any of these games on the Switch rather than on, say, the PC, for example.
I mean, obviously, Zelda Breath of the Wild, you would. But
yeah, this is the thing. I mean, if you're only going to get one game to play on the... that's still the wrong gameplay. If you're only going to get one game... Not that one. If you're only going to get one game to play on your Switch, make it The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I take it you agree, you concur.
Yeah, I definitely concur.
It's the only absolutely essential game there, in my opinion.
I mean, I would have liked a few more... new games, like actual new releases on the launch lineup, but hey.
Very disappointing third party. I'm surprised actually the games like Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart Remastered won't be available, to be honest.
Splatoon 2, do you know what I mean? Splatoon 1.2?
Well, 1.2, yes.
Yeah, we've got the 1 point bit.
Indeed, it is a remastering in all but name. And even stuff like ARMS, actually. I'm kind of surprised that stuff like that isn't ready for release, because we've got a lot of indie chaff, I suppose, making up numbers.
I quite liked Fast RAM or whatever it was called.
Fast looks great, actually. Fast Ass, as we've nicknamed it. Yeah, but that's not a launch title.
No, it's not.
I mean, if you were going to buy The Legend of Zelda and something else, I mean, the thing is, I'm not prepared to say get Super Bomberman until I see what the single player like, and whether that's going to justify the price. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would get anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Super Bomberman, if you absolutely want a multiplayer game, and I would get that over 1-2 Switch, actually. I mean, 1-2 Switch I'm sure will be great fun for a session, and then you'll probably never put the disc in ever again. Or the cartridge.
Yeah,
I apologise.
Minor conspiracy there.
Let us know what you guys think, actually, and what you're going to get with the Switch, or even if you're going to get a Switch. Let us know in the comments below. Do also please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That really helps us out. Thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time on parallaxlive.com.